One of the things I've had to realize in my life when it came to me growing into the person I was meant to become, when it came to me finding more peace in my life, is understanding not every single friendship, not every single relationship is meant to be forever. I think one of the things that's like a crutch or something that prevents us from growing a lot of times is that we have these big hearts or we can feel things as human beings. I think, there's a lot of things we don't know on earth, but I think the one thing we know without being able to fully explain it is love. Like we can feel that we love somebody. We can feel that this person is meant to be in our life. And what I want you to know in this video is that you're not wrong to know that somebody's meant to be in your life. Every person that's in your life, whether that's for the good or for the bad, is meant to be in your life, whether that's for you to learn a lesson or is that for you to spend good time with them, to appreciate them, whatever it may be. But the mistake we make is not understanding this. They are meant for you. I want to reaffirm that. They are meant for you, but not for forever. Some people in our lives are meant to be in our lives for chapters. They are meant to, I think when we say, this person's meant for me, we think that means this person's meant to be in our lives forever. No, they are meant for you, just not meant to be in your entire book. Some characters are meant for chapter 1, 2, and 3, but not for the rest of the book. Okay? They're still really important characters. You want to become who you became for all the other great moments you had in your life, but they're not meant to be in your life forever. And when you keep certain people in your life, when you keep certain habits in your life, this goes for anything that aren't meant to be in the next chapter, you're preventing yourself from becoming and growing and learning the new things you're meant to become. And so we have to realize that there's times in our life where other people that were with us for a foundational moment, there are people that were there for us when we didn't know any better, there are day ones, and we can't find our next friends, our next people, our next whatevers because we're stuck with people from last chapter, okay? Here's the thing we have to realize in life. When we come into this world, we're alone. We're in our mama's stomach. We're alone. It's dark. We ain't got nobody. I mean, we got our mama feeding us food, but we're alone. And when we die, we'll be alone. The only constant in this world is you and you. The only person that will be with you for your entire life is you. Everybody else is unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. And it's nothing really to do with always what they do. It's, you can't control timings and what people, you know what I'm saying? The only constant in our life is ourselves. And we have to realize that the number one relationship that we have to prioritize is the relationship with ourselves. A lot of us were prioritizing relationships with people just because they were there in the sandbox with us, which is cool. Y'all are day ones. But that doesn't mean y'all are supposed to be day 100s, day 1000s. Just because somebody's a day one doesn't mean they're meant to be with you. What happens in life is that we're all different. We all grow differently. We're all meant for different things. And if we get stuck in, this person was there for us, but that doesn't mean they're supposed to be there for you. Every person has their own timeline, their own purpose, their own things they're meant to do and become. And we end up missing out on so much growth because we're sticking with people because they brought us what we needed in that moment. But maybe what we need in that moment isn't what we need in this moment. That's what we have to remember. There's times in life when we do need someone to feed us milk, right? We need our parents to do certain things for us. Do we need those same things when we're 21 years old? I'm not saying you shouldn't still have a relationship with your parents. All I'm saying is who we are and what we need and what we prioritize is most important in relationships isn't the same in different chapters of our life. Therefore, the people in our circle shouldn't be the same for our entire life. Now, are there some people that are meant for us for a long period of time? Yes, but not everybody and nobody is meant for forever because guess what? You are the only forever in your life. I don't care how great somebody is. Nobody is meant for forever in your life, okay? There's going to be a time period in one of y'all's lives where y'all won't be around. That's just a fact of the situation. So when we understand that, the next priority is this, okay? Once you understand that the only constant in your life is you have to prioritize something different. Okay? Because this will actually help you with your relationships, but you have to do this to ever get the right relationships in the different chapters. If you want to be able to know when I'm in this chapter, how am I supposed to know how am I supposed to have this person, and how am I supposed to pick by the chapter? Well, guess what? You don't have to worry about it when you do this. When you do this, you prioritize instead of relationships. In order to have great relationships, you have to, instead of prioritizing great relationships, prioritize awareness and growth. If you prioritize awareness and growth of self All the friendships, all those things will happen in due time exactly when they're meant to. And you know what else will happen? The people that are meant to be your friends, or the people that were meant to be your friends in one chapter, will be so obvious you're not meant to be your friends in other chapters. Okay? And I think it's super. Let me check if this thing is recording right. Okay, it's recording. I be so afraid when my audio is maybe tripping, and then I'm like, I go to the edit it and it's like all messed up. But yeah, I guess it's a little intermission, like comment, subscribe, whatever. But what happens is when you prioritize awareness, like you actually learn who you are, which is an ever-flowing process. If you've ever watched any of my videos, you'll know learning who you are and becoming who you're meant to become and figuring out what you love and what you like to do, what you don't like, it's something that's constantly changing. You're constantly learning. Learning who you are and having awareness of self is a constant puzzle you're trying to solve that will never end because it's constantly changing and you're constantly evolving, okay? If you're always prioritizing this forever journey, then you're always going to be able to surround yourself with what reflects who you are because it's easier because you know who you are. A lot of y'all can't find the right friends because you aren't even the right friend for yourself. You aren't even who you are yet, okay? You aren't even like all the things in life, everything that surrounds us will only be right if we take care of the most important person first. So when you start to become aware with what you truly want, not just what people around you tell you, when you start to become aware of what you actually love to do, not just what other people say you should be doing with your life, when you start to grow and become the things that you know you're supposed to be doing, all the things that you want in a relationship and friends will come, okay? And it will attract to you. But if you stay with the people you're not meant for, it's hard to do all these things. And then you won't get the next group, or you won't be able to know for sure this person is supposed to be around me, okay? So I think it's super important that we prioritize that growth because we're the only one we can depend on. Now, I'm just telling you. Now, this isn't a video of me telling you all not to prioritize friendships. Like, friendships are everything. Relationships are everything. All I'm saying is never put that in front of your relationship with yourself. And what happens is that's actually you prioritizing your friendships because that's what's allowing you to always be in genuine relationships. It's hard to be in a genuine relationship with somebody when you don't even know who you are and what you know what I'm saying? Okay? And so you can't even get to that next step. You're dealing with level 2 stuff and you ain't even done level 1, okay? Learning who you are and growing is always a priority because it will take you to where you're meant to become and it will show you who you're meant to be surrounded with. And you can't do that without knowing who you are, okay? And this thing I want to be able to explain to you is this. Because some people you may have are genuine people or nice people. And this doesn't always mean to cut people off. It just means a distance. Your main circle should be people that are influencing you to do positive things that should be fueling your belief, that should be challenging you. One thing you cannot do, you can't wait on their growth. That's one thing you can't do. I'm not saying to cut off, but you can't wait on somebody to grow. You can't force anybody to grow. You can't. And I think there's a problem with genuine people. We see the best in people, but we get ourselves in trouble because the person may never become what we see as their potential because they never believe in themselves. They never take the time to actually grow, to put in the time. And we're waiting and we're waiting. We're helping and helping. And while we're trying to pull them up, they're actually pulling us down. And so it's super important that we don't wait because guess what? Us leaving is also us helping them because this may influence them. Okay, I got to get myself together because people like him ain't going to wait on me to just, you know what I'm saying? You can't wait on them because not only are you messing yourself up, but you're messing them up because they're not being held accountable. And it's not that you're telling them, hey, you need to grow. It's just you're distancing yourself and they will know. Or maybe you tell them, I don't know. Every relationship is different, but it's super important that you don't wait on other people to grow. Again, this isn't cutting people off. Sometimes it does mean cutting some people off. And some people are constantly showing you that your morals are different, or constantly telling you that, hey, I do this and you do that, and hey, it's okay to cut people off because sometimes that person was good for you when you were a different person. There's people in my life that were really close I'm really close friends with or were, and we had an amazing time when, for example, like right now, I'm at a point in my life where I'm no longer trying to chase like short-term validation. I'm no longer trying to do things that are really shallow. I'm no longer trying to like get drunk and do these stupid things on the weekend. Like I really enjoy my peace. I really want genuine things around me. I'm not chasing things off of pride. And when I was doing that type of stuff in college sometimes, there's people I was around that it was fun to be around because we're on the same type time. But now I've grown and seen how stupid some of that stuff is. While I don't regret doing it because I had to grow out of it, they're still doing those same things. I'm not saying I cut all of them off, but some of them are so supremely indulged in that stuff, I can't be around you. Our morals are different. I'm not going to be able to become the best person I can because you around me is subconsciously influencing me to do things that isn't even who I am. But that brings me back to what I said before. If we prioritize awareness and growth, it'll become completely obvious I'm not supposed to be friends with that person anymore. And it's no hard feelings. You keep being you if that's who you are. But you got to always say, how can I keep being me? How can I keep being authentic? Because when you're authentic, it allows space for the people you're meant for, okay? I got to write this down. I didn't even plan on writing this down or talking about this. But this is one of the big things that has helped me understand relationships or understanding like it's okay to cut somebody off, okay? Listen to this. What's the word I want to use for it? Saying bye gives you the space for what's meant for you next. So by you saying bye, you may think I'm missing out, but there's only so many friends, relationships, energy we can have, right? But what we have to realize is while you're losing, quote unquote, you're actually gaining space. You're gaining, think of it like your phone. When it runs out of space in your phone, you can only have so much memory on your phone. When you delete that big app, it allows you to download another app. Whenever you say bye to something that's not meant for you anymore, it's not to say it wasn't meant to be there at a time, but whenever you say bye and it's like, okay, it's not meant for you anymore, it allows you to have the space to then get what you're meant for. It's like a video game, okay? You got NBA 2K25, but 2K26 has just dropped. In order for you to download 2K26, you got to say goodbye to 2K25. Not that I be playing it because I believe 2K ain't that good no more, but that's a whole different conversation. But you see what I'm trying to say. You have to have space, okay? Not only do you have to have space, but you have to be in the right energy. You're not going to attract the right person being on the wrong energy. So when you hang around the people you're not even like anymore, the people you're meant for that's supposed to attract to you will look the other way because they're like, oh, that's not even my type of person. Because they're authentic. They're doing who they're meant to become and who they are. But you can't even attract or approach them because you aren't. You see what I mean? So this is in friendships, in relationships with the other sex, or if you're with the same, you know what I'm trying to say. This is with everything, okay? Your energy is so loud, okay? And you're going to be tired dealing with people you're meant to say bye to. You're going to be constantly frustrated. I've realized when I was staying in relationships or friendships with people I already knew from awareness I shouldn't be with them anymore and I was giving them more chances, I would lash out on that person over the littlest things and they would get mad. And I had to say, you know what? They deserve to be mad at me because I'm over here tripping off the littlest stuff because my energy is off, because I should have been cut them off. So it's super important that we understand saying bye is allowing us to have the space to say hello to the things we're meant for next. But you'll never get to go to the next chapter, to the next level, still dealing with the things that were meant for the last chapter. You're stuck, okay? Just because the current or last chapter was good doesn't mean that last chapter is supposed to be the forever chapter, okay? A good chapter sometimes can turn us into having a bunch of bad chapters because we never said goodbye to the past chapter that was good, thinking it was supposed to be forever. There's so many chapters and things that'll happen in your life. Just be surprised. Don't try to force things, man. When you start to force things, that's when your energy's off. That's when you don't attract what's meant for you, okay? Another quote I want to leave y'all with. And I'm probably going to state this wrong. My grandfather said this to me a long time ago. But he said, Jamar, never be the smartest person in a group. This is one of his final things of advice he gave me, okay? He said, never be the smartest person in the group. Some people may think you should want to be the smartest person in the group. No. When you're the smartest person in the group, you're dumbing yourself every time you're in that environment. You want to be the dumbest person in the group because that forces you to be smarter. You want to be the person that believes in the dreams the least in the group that you're in because those people are going to peer pressure you into being a better version and being somebody that's believing in themselves more. You want to be the least in whatever the group is, okay? So I want to become a better person that believes in my dreams. I want to be around people that really believe in their dreams more than me. I want to become a smarter person. I need to be around people that are smarter than me. I want to become a better business person. I want to be people that have better businesses than me. Just because because I may have some business intellect and there are people around me that could benefit from my knowledge, I have to balance that out by also being in groups where people have more. So that doesn't mean never surround yourself with people that have less than whatever it is that you have, but it's about always balancing that out with other people that do have more than you, okay? But in your main group, you got to make sure there's a balance where there's, I'm not saying like things are transactional, but goodness, if people around you don't believe in themselves, people around you are always doing dumb stuff, people around you are always settling, then you will become somebody that does that by, you know what I'm saying? It's just around you. It's super important that we understand at certain points in our life, we have to exit some of these groups that may have been cool in college, that may have been cool in high school, that may have been cool at certain points in your life, but you have to know what you want. That's why awareness and growth is important. And when you understand those things, you must reflect that with who you surround yourself with. So if the person you're seeing on a daily basis, your girlfriend or your boyfriend, isn't somebody that allows you to do what you're growing and wanting in your life, then that can't be the person you spend every single day with. So maybe that's an obvious sign, but it's hard to be able to make these decisions about what's meant for the next chapter or what's meant to just be in the previous chapter if you haven't figured out who you are in yourself inside. That's why I started this video out with the most important thing we have to prioritize over relationships is our relationship with ourselves, because it will tell us everything we need to do with the relationships we're getting ourselves into that need to end or begin, okay? Last thing I want to tell you to end this off. Again, nothing is forever, okay? Don't overthink things. Don't be mad. There are times we need to be alone. There are times where things aren't going to make sense. There are times where you're going to have a bunch of friends. There's times you're going to have a couple friends. Don't try to measure it. Don't try to think, oh, there's something wrong. Everything's exactly the way it's supposed to, okay? Don't be afraid to say goodbye. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I don't want to be around you anymore. What somebody else thinks about you isn't your problem. Your responsibility is to do what you think is best for your life. And if somebody doesn't align with that, guess what? There's somebody that does, but you're missing out on the people that are meant to be in your life, staying with people that aren't meant to be in your life anymore. Just because they were meant for you at a point doesn't mean they're meant for you forever. The only person that's meant to be with you forever is you. And the people that are meant to be around you in every phase will be around you as long as you just start being you. So prioritize being you, and all the relationships, all the friendships will attract to you. And if somebody has a problem with you growing, with a problem with you doing things differently, so if you don't want to party anymore and they don't want to be around you, then maybe they were never your friend. They were just part of this plot so they could have people around them, okay? I need you to know, oh, there was one more thing I wanted to say. I wanted to say, if people don't want to be around you once you start dreaming big or being delusional, whatever it may be, like going after big dreams or transitioning, doing something different, not being the old way you were, then those people were never really your friends, okay? Or at least they're not meant to be your friend anymore, okay? You have to constantly be growing. That's what life is about. If somebody doesn't want to grow with you, that's not your problem. And guess what? If they don't grow with you right now and you leave them, they may come back. It may influence them to grow. I've had a lot of relationships where I had to say goodbye, but then we got to say hello again. But I prioritized myself, so I got the best of both worlds. I got a dope relationship, and they became better, and I got to be exactly who I was meant to be. But if you start prioritizing relationships over yourself, you'll never become who you're meant to become, and there's all these other people, friends and supporters you'll never be able to reach because you're prioritizing somebody you weren't even meant for in the next chapter. Hope all this made sense. I feel like I talked really fast in this, but I had fun. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions. Maybe I'll make another video on your specific question, but I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.